Hey, what's up, people out there in the world watching me, Cy Rodriguez, on the Organic Adventure Show? I just wanted to talk with you a little bit today and kind of just freely talk with you. Uh, Maybe the first thing I want to do is make a confession. And the confession that I want to make is that I am not the ideal person that I would like to be. Now, I've never really hidden this, and my friends, people who know me, know this about me. Um, but I'm pretty much an addict. So when it comes to my lifestyle, whatever I like, I tend to do it a lot. And so that means that if something is good for me, it's usually good for me. I can't think of anything that is really good for people that they could really overdo. So, and yeah, sure, there's a limit. But what I'm talking about is, if you're going to eat fruit and that's all you're going to eat, it's almost the more you eat, the better, as long as you're not eating a lot of fat. And there's a lot of people out there that support that kind of a lifestyle. I don't live that lifestyle 100%, but I do think that it's a really beneficial way. And there's some balance in there with some cooked foods and with the fruit that's good, as long as you're staying away from large amounts of fats on a regular basis. But when I'm saying that with fruit, I don't think you can overdo fruit. It's one of those things that's good for you all the time. So if I'm eating fruit, I like to eat more fruit, and it's good. And I can pretty much eat fruit for all day, for days in a row, if I'm getting enough of it. So that is one of the things that I think is a good kind of addiction. Now, there's other kinds of addictions, and one of those is coffee, caffeine in general, chocolate. I'm just going to speak from my own experience, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are coffee supporters, and there's cacao or organic chocolate supporters for reasons like for coffee, it's high in antioxidants, and it keeps you regular. It's good for people with high blood sugar because it lowers their blood sugar. This is some of the arguments for coffee. For cacao, it might be, it's full of minerals, it's got lots of iron and magnesium, and then plus it's got all these antioxidants, okay? So those kinds of things I understand, and I like those things for what they are. I am a kind of a person who appreciates something that can change how you feel. And there's pretty much almost no quicker way to change how you feel than to consume some kind of a drug. And so I consider things like coffee and chocolate a drug. Now, does that mean that they are bad? No, but it's one of those things that you can overdo. So if you're a kind of a person who is an addictive by nature kind of a person like I am, then it's easy to overdo these kinds of things. And I'm just going to give you an example of something that I can do, and something I have done. And that is, for example, to have a whole quart, that's 32 ounces of yerba mate, have a whole quart of coffee, and have a whole quart of chocolate, meaning like a chocolate drink that I make from raw cacao powder or something like that. Now, although I like those things, when I do that to myself, I feel completely horrible. And it makes me really think I should never do those things again. And that's why, for long periods of time in my life, I've given those things up. And for example, I just came out of a year of not having coffee on August 4th. And since August 4th, I've drank a fair share of coffee. And yeah, I decided that I don't want to commit to a year of not having coffee, but I also have thought about it that I've been spending a lot more time meditating, and I realize that when I have coffee, I'm almost like chasing pain. Like I want to feel pain, and the reality is that I hate it when I feel pain, but for some reason I'm craving it. And um, might sound weird, but I think some of you can relate to it out there. But it's the same thing with chocolate. Now, yerba mate is a little bit different for me. I don't know why, but when I have yerba mate, unless I really, really, really consume a lot of it, I don't usually have any negative side effects or too negative side effects. But I do still think that caffeine has drug-like effects on me, and um, I'm not the same person. I should say I don't. I make decisions differently if I have caffeine than if I don't have caffeine. So good or bad, that's the reality for me, and I think it is for a lot of people. But a lot of people have just submitted to their addiction, and they're going to go on doing it and not think about it if that is a problem for them. And that's okay as long as you take responsibility for yourself and whatever the consequences of that are. At least that's what I feel like. People should take responsibility for themselves. I take responsibility for myself. And what I want to say, though, is that about this meditation, it's made me feel like rather than saying, okay, I'm not going to have coffee for a year, I'm going to be okay if I have coffee. But I'm going to face that it's causing me pain in a more real sort of way, meaning I know that somehow I'm running away from myself, from a better feeling self of myself, because I know from experience that when I don't have caffeine for a long period of time, I generally feel better and I have a lot more joy in my life. And specifically when I don't have coffee or large amounts of chocolate. Those two things, although they might initially make me feel good, are like joy stealers for me. And yeah, I can relate to that desire to have them and that craving. Like I said, I'm a person who appreciates something that makes you feel differently quickly, and I like a buzz. So that's just me. But I also think that it feels pretty good to just feel joy. And that is almost a natural state of being when I'm being my most healthy. And so my confession there, I do things that are not good for me, and they make me feel worse. And I can honestly say that life without coffee for me is just better. But my addictive nature, once I have it, that part of me that craves that keeps craving it. So I have to use my will usually to stop myself from having it. And like I said, the difference for me this time is that I don't want to tell anybody, okay, yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore, but I will report to you on a regular basis about whether I'm doing it or not. So from now, I had some coffee today, kind of inspired this video. Haven't had a lot of sleep lately. Been starting a new job, getting up really early in the morning. So coffee does not help me. And it doesn't wake me up. It just makes me feel a certain way. And to all of you coffee lovers, I can completely relate to you. And I love coffee for what it is, but I also hate coffee for what it is. So I hope this video helps. I hope that you're inspired to do something differently with yourself, and I hope that you'll face the reality about what your addictions are and do what you need to do to get free from those things and live a life that's more happy and full of joy and where you just feel more healthy. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time on the Organic Adventure Show.